I decided to open the letter. Dear Mr. Hobbs, due to previous incidents, we are writing to inform you that we will no longer be sending models to your address. It went on to discuss Hobbs's temper and other alleged infractions, some of which still carry the death sentence in certain less sophisticated cultures. Interesting. This could come in useful. I decided to give it another blast.
What now?
Afternoon, Mr. Hobbs. We're from the model agency.
About blooming time. I'm on a deadline. You better come up. About time you two showed up.
Hello, Mr. Hobbs. I was just wondering if...
Can it, Goldilocks? I don't have time for chit-chat. Just get undressed behind that screen.
Undressed?
That was the deal. An extra 20 quid because I need you with your kit off.
The studio was freezing.
And as for you, darling, no need to get undressed. I've got a vivid imagination, so I'll just use that. Either way, just go sit over there on that rug and give me your best belly pock floozy. That's perfect. Just hold it there.
Nico made for a good distraction. I just needed to figure out how to get a look inside that portfolio. Excuse me, Mr. Hobbs.
Oh, what do you want? You're supposed to be sprawled naked on that rug with the family jewels out.
Yeah, well, about that. Could I just ask you a couple of questions first?
Blow me. A model who's shy and chatty. It must be my birthday.
Do you know a Russian called Medovsky?
You know Medovsky?
Everyone in the London art scene knows Medovsky.
And everyone in the London art scene who likes their kneecaps knows when to keep their trap shut.
I wasn't going to mess around with that wiring.
Oh, you! Get down from there, it's private!
Oh, sorry. A variety of liquor bottles, all empty. Wow, an old Bofson Wang stereo. I hadn't seen one of those for years. Burroughs, Dick, Rand. Hobbs liked his literature heavy and paranoid. Hobbs seemed to have a thing for 70s psychedelic jams. The record had stopped. It was Jasmine Breeze by the Hairy Lobsters. I didn't want to play around with the negligee. Those days are long gone. But I wondered who it did belong to.
My, if it isn't George Stobart.
Lady Piermont! Oh, my. You're...
Naked? Of course. As an artist's muse, one often finds oneself en pelotas. Now, George, don't be shy. Come here and give me a big hug.
That day was the day the nightmares had begun. Trapped, smothered, choking on lavender.
George, darling, pass me my robe. It's terribly cold in here.
Oi, what are you doing with a blooming robe on? God help me, but you're supposed to be naked. I've got a deadline to meet.
Well, you won't be meeting any deadlines with manners like that. And besides, it's freezing in here.
Lady Piermont and I had met before. She was larger than life, in every way. Wary of any more life-changing surprises, I decided against exploring behind the screen. So how are we going to get a peek inside that folder?
Perhaps your lady friend over there could help.
Lady Piermont? Well, she has many, assets, but subtlety isn't one of them.
Who said anything about subtlety? We need to distract Hobbs, and she's certainly distracting. No, excuse me, but you're casting a shadow.
Lady Piermont.
Oh, George, be a darling and sort the heating out in here.
I'll see what I can do.
Hey! Leave that dial alone.
Sorry, but Lady Piermont is cold. I thought...
Look, pal, I know it's brass monkeys in here, but the wiring in this building is ancient, and the fuse box won't take it. Her Majesty will just have to get used to chapel hat pegs.
Lady Piermont, Mr. Hobbs won't let me turn up the heating.
Well, we'll soon see about that.
Oh, crumbs.
If you do not adjust the heating, I shall refuse to cooperate.
Lady Piermont, it's the circuits. They won't take the strain. You know what old buildings are like.
In which case, I see no reason for this session to continue.
Whoa, Lady Piermont, let's not be too hasty. I'm sure I can accommodate your needs.
Good. Perhaps you can start by letting George here turn up the heating.
Oh, go ahead then, but be careful. The power in here is temperamental.
I turned the thermostat up as far as it would go. I wondered if the suspicious wiring could be used to my advantage. I didn't need to sit. It was time for action. I wasn't going to mess around with that. I needed a better idea. That was... That wouldn't work. didn't need to sit.
Hey, that's my whiskey ration for the day gone.
I had no need to walk out. A word, if I may, Lady Piermont.
For you, George, I'm all ears. How can I help?
So what have you been up to since our last encounter, Lady Piermont?
Charity work, dear boy.
Oh, any particular kind?
Young men, George. So many have lost their way. I try to guide them best I can.
Can you keep a secret, Lady Piermont?
I am the very soul of discretion, as you know.
You see that portfolio by Hobbs's table? We need to take a peek inside.
Be still, my beating heart. Just give me the nod, and I'm putty in your hands.
Do you know anything about a stolen painting called La Malediccio?
Oh, is this another of your adventures, George? How delicious.
Shh.
My heart's a tremor, George. Do you think Wilf is mixed up with this?
Maybe, but I need you to act normally until we're sure.
Mum's the word, Georgie.
How did you come to be working with Mr. Hobbs?
Wheresoever a bohemian needs a helping hand, George, mine is always at the ready. And what better way to help than to expose one's flesh to the sensuous brushstrokes of such a talent?
What do you think of this, Lady Piermont?
Not much, Georgie, not much.
Would you like a sniff of this?
I'd rather not. Gives me 70s flashbacks.
How about a shot of this, Lady Piermont?
Oh, no, dear. I don't touch the stuff. Reminds me of husband number 5. Or was it 6? Terrible bore, anyway. I'm strictly a gin girl. Ice and a slice and a whiff of tonic.
What do you think of this, Lady Piermont?
Not much, Georgie. Not
What do you think of this, Lady?
much.
What do you think of this, Lady?
Not much.
Could I tempt you with a cookie, Lady Piermont?
You could tempt me with many things, George, but a half-eaten rich tea is not one of them.
Lady Piermont, do you happen to know anything about this?
Oh, George, I don't. I'm terrible.
What do you think of this, Lady?
Not.
What do you think of this, Lady?
Not.
How about a top-up, Mr. Hobbs?
Don't mind if I do.
A variety of liquor. I wouldn't have been able to break the chain. A pile of paint. The large dump. I'd already jerry-rigged the horn. I had no other reason to rummage around under. I'd better not touch.
Oi, Yank! I can hear you on those stairs.
Sorry. If I was going to take a look up there, I'd have to do something about those squeaky stairs. It was a shaky old elevator that would once have lifted. The fuse box was emitting a sinister buzzing sound. It should have been condemned years ago. A well-worn stool sat in the corner. A word if I'm...
For you, George.
Anything else you can tell me about Mr. Hobbs?
My lips are bound by discretion, sweet boy.
We're still trying to figure out a way to distract Hobbs and take a look in that Lady Piermont wasn't going to tell me. That's all for now.
Oi, what do you think you're doing?
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna take a look at some of your pictures. You're very good.
I know, and that portfolio is private. I'm not paying you to gawp around my studio. Get your blooming clothes off!
Sorry. Excuse me.
What now?
But I thought you were a restorer. But you're working on this painting from scratch.
Well, yeah. Look, some clients want a painting that they don't own, restored from scratch, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Don't worry, sunshine. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, about this naked, sprawling...
Oh, what's up? Afraid of the shrinking effects of a cold warehouse?
No, it's just...
First time? Little embarrassed? Well, if it helps, we can all get naked.
No, definitely not.
Well then, what are you waiting for? Let the monkey see the nuts!
We had a saying in the Stobart family. If a job's worth doing, then do it with your pants on. How long have you been using Lady Piermont as a model?
Using her? I can't get rid of her.
So, what's in the folder that you're so touchy about?
Little boys should keep their noses out of other people's business. Understand?
Totally.
I have got my eye on you, pal.
Are you sure you won't talk about Medosky?
Are you deaf? I already told you to drop the subject.
I hear you did the restoration of that painting that got stolen recently in Paris?
I might have. It's a fine piece. You can smell the pain in every brushstroke.
It's a little musty in here. Do you mind if I spray some of this around?
Brett! Good lord, man! Put it away! It'll strip the paint off me canvas!
Showing that to Hobbs was... Showing that to... He wouldn't want us... Cookie, Mr. Hobbs?
Don't mind if I do. Rich tea. No bourbons.
Afraid not.
Jammy Dodgers.
Sorry.
Stroopwafel.
No, it's just the way I walk. Mr. Hobbs, meet Trevor.
Who's Trevor?
My cockroach. Take a look.
Difficult childhood, eh? Well, don't take it out on me.
Showing that to Hobbs. Showing that... How about a top-up, Mr. Hobbs?
Thanks, but I've already got a glass.
Excuse me.
What?
The painting is looking good.
It would look even better if you took your kit off and got into position.
Mr. Hobbs, this whole nudity thing, keep the extra 20 pounds. If it's all right with you, I'd rather not do it.
Look, pal. This painting demands flesh, and that is what I am going to get. Now, one way or another, your rosy cheeks are getting onto this canvas.
This was going nowhere. I had to keep stalling him until I could take a look inside that portfolio. So, are you and Lady Piermont, an item?
Not so loud, mate. You'll give her ideas.
I'm really curious about that folder.
And I'm really curious about you. You're a very curious model all round, you are.
Are you sure you won't talk about Medosky?
Are you deaf?
Tell me more about
Why all the interest in that picture? We're not at the Slade now, Sonny Jim.
I'll let you get back to your painting.
You're too kind.
Excuse me.
All right, mate.
Hobbs was really drunk. Excuse me, Mr.
Hold your horses, will you? We could chat in the pub once I...
Hobbs was really drunk. I turned the volume up a few notches. I turned the volume down. I turned the volume up a few. How about another whiskey?
That's smashing. Far away.
How about another whiskey?
Thanks, but I'm already...
Excuse me, Miss
Hold your horses, will you?
Hobbs was... It was locked. I wondered what was behind the door. That wouldn't...
Oh, you! Get down from there. You'll trip the power in the whole building if you...
Blowing the power would certainly have distracted Hop, but the elevator alone wasn't going to trip the whole... It was a shaky old elevator that would once have...
Oh, you!
The elevator on its own.
Oh, you!
Yep. A word, if I may.
For you, George.
Lady Piermont, we need your help.
How thrilling. What do you need? Subterfuge? Legerdemain?
Actually, I just need you to step onto that lift behind you.
Oh, but of course. Is this good, George, darling?
Perfect. Now, just stay right there. It was I was too late to catch a look at the port. Now was my chance. It was one of Hobbs' sketches. More of Hobbs' sketches. The model looked familiar. Impressionist sketches. Well, it wasn't La Malediccio, but it did appear to be a study for an element of the painting, the Ouroboros. There was something different about the image in the center. I figured the sketch might come in handy, so I took it.
What the heck are you doing with those? They're private papers.
Huh?
Well, that was fun. Just like when you were a private dick, George.
So, you're not models?
No, Mr. Hobbs.
Well, you can't be a copper. You're not stupid enough. So what the blazes are you doing in my studio?
We're investigating the theft of La Malediccio.
I told you I just restored it. That's what I do. Restore paintings.
And these sketches?
Studies done during the restoration. Nothing more. I've got nought to do with what happened after that painting left this studio. How was I to know it was going to get Henri killed?
Hang on a second. How do you know Henri's dead?
Look, he and I went back a long way. Le Lézard Bleu was on the ropes, so I got the painting into his exhibition. Nothing like this was supposed to happen.
But something did happen, Hobbs. Your friend lost his life.
Look, I'll help you however I can, but this mess is way above my pay grade. What do you want to know?
Why would anyone want to steal La Malediccio? It's not exactly a famous painting.
True, but there is something special about it that's hard to describe. There's conviction in every brushstroke. Whoever El Serp was, he had a tale to tell. The symbolism is deeply religious.
How come you needed to make so many sketches of the painting to restore it?
Restoration's not about throwing a load of paint around. It takes research. The Serp is a complicated painting. A lot of subtext. A lot of symbols.
Tell me about the symbols in La Malediccio.
Very Christian, deeply religious, but not exactly orthodox.
The sort of thing that would upset a priest? There was one at the gallery telling everyone how evil it was.
As I said, it's not exactly orthodox, and the church can be very touchy about orthodoxy. Especially now they can't just burn anyone they disagree with.
We have reason to believe that Medovsky is mixed up in the theft of La Malediccio.
Eh? What would he gain from stealing his own painting?
We have strong evidence that Medovsky is not the real owner.
You'll have a hard time proving that. Medovsky has a full set of provenances for the painting. It traces its legitimate ownership all the way back to the painter.
Why didn't Medovsky mention him?
Because they're not with him. Henri's got them. Or had them.
And Henri is dead.
So ask his partner.
Lane?
Lane, yeah, Lane. Look, pal, you're wasting your time looking for conspiracies here. And you're wasting my time if you're not actually going to get naked. Go get the provenance from Lane, and everything will turn out hunky-dory.
But it also puts Marquez's story into question.
Not my problem, darling. Now both of you, get lost. I've got a painting to finish.
And we have a critic to interrogate.
Someone's lying, but who?
Is it the gangster or the old Spaniard?
The painter or the art critic?
I need to head back for Nave's reconstruction.
What about the evidence from Medovsky's house? Will you give it to Nave?
I think I should. And I can put the squeeze on Lane. Ask him about the provenance.
Good. I've got lunch with Ronnie tomorrow. This story is hotting up, and I want to make sure he keeps me on it.
Taxi? I arrived back at the shopping arcade. Hey, Bassam, how's business?
Good to see you, George. Gotta say, the new branding's hitting the demographic right between the eyes.
Sold anything?
This is a soft market, George. Look to the margins. Look to the margins.
What's your latest bargain?
Bargain? I prefer the word incentivizer, George. Look at the store. Something for everyone, and everything for someone.
Any other bargains?
Got a batch of phone covers.
Let me guess. Rhinestones?
Got it in one.
Thank you. The Vera's shutters were down again. The police had probably cleared it out. Here I was again at the crime scene. Inside the gallery, I could see lots of activity. Nave preparing for the reconstruction, no doubt. I could see Nave. I assumed that they were preparing for the reconstruction. Hi.
Monsieur?
So nobody else was here at all?
No, monsieur. I think the police tape is putting my customers off.
I'll take a coffee.
I don't think so.
What?
The coffee you desire, monsieur, is not served here.
Well, how do you know what coffee I desire?
Because I look into your eyes, monsieur, into your very soul, and I see.
Is that right? So what exactly do you see?
I see a tall glass of milky macchiato, sprinkled with chocolat, with a long spoon, and a biscuit on the side.
Wow. That's exactly what I want.
And it is precisely what you will not get. In my café, monsieur, I serve only café noir in teeny cups.
You know what? Suddenly I'm not thirsty anymore. I wasn't going to leave before attending the reconstruction. Nico and I had a good idea who the killer was. Now all we had to do was persuade Nave.
Sir, I already tried starting it up. I think it's broken.
Nonsense, Moo. This machine has the power of 10 investigators.
But investigators never fail to start up, sir.
Your pessimism is duly noted, Moo. But have faith. This machine will analyze the scene, compute the data, and deduce everything for us. The location of the second shooter will be a mystery no more. One moment.
A marvel indeed, sir. Though at the moment it is kaput.
Your pessimism has obviously infected the circuitry, Moo. Let me think for a moment.
If I could just...
Shh! Eh bien, Moo, now try realigning the laser matrix.
Sir, I have no idea what that is.
Move over, Moo. Now, let me see. Oscillating reverberator? Check. Refraction spectrometer? Check. Now, what can I do? Ah, Monsieur Stobart, it's only you. Glad you could finally make it.
Inspector, I've got some good news and some bad news.
Oh, yes? I shall be the judge of that.
I think I know who the killer is.
Really?
Yep, he's a gardener called Shears living in London.
Fascinating. And the good news?
We don't need to do your reconstruction.
You joke with me, Monsieur Stobart.
It's not a joke. This guy Shears was working for a Russian ex-mobster. It's all part of a highly complex fraud.
Gardeners, KGB, fraud. You are a fantasist, monsieur. And I have no time for fantasy. Reality is my suitcase, as you Americans say. Now, stand over there and keep out of trouble until the others arrive.
Well, who are we waiting for?
Mademoiselle Collard and Father Simeon. Please, I am very busy. Ah, Moo, a clever choice. But no cigar for you. Try the red.
Mon Dieu!
Lane.
Stobart.
What do you think of Moo?
Who?
The policeman with Nave.
I assume he's another idiot.
Why's that?
I believe one can tell a man by the company he keeps.
I'll bear that in mind, Mr. Lane. I gather you're the man to ask about the provenance for the painting.
For La Maledictio? Well, you have been busy, haven't you, Stobart?
I'd like to see it.
So speak to Bijou. She took care of the business side of the gallery. The provenance is in the office safe. She has the key.
Lane was a pushover when you had him cornered. Though it looked like Bijou hadn't been completely honest with me after all. I needed to pay her another visit. What do you think of Nave?
The man is a buffoon. I have better things to do than wait for these idiots to get their forensic whatnot to work. The only silver lining is that Nave seems more annoyed than I am.
What's the deal with that device over there?
It's a farce. They've been trying to get it working for hours.
Looks like something out of a 50s sci-fi movie.
It probably is.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, yes.
Sir, I think we are ready to fire her up.
Yes, Moo, I was just about to say the same thing. Do it. What have you done?
Pardon me, sir, but I believe it was you who said...
This is no time for blame. You have broken the machine.
Mon Dieu.
Stupid. Monsieur Stobart, you will not leave until this is over. Understood?
But I just need to...
This is a reconstruction. You will remain here until I have concluded my investigations. Do I make myself clear?
Okay, clear. I considered making a run for it, but forcing Moo to chase me would have been cruel. And it would have been silly to risk my investigation. Better to play along with Nave and get the reconstruction over as quickly as possible. Inspector Nave. Have you been a detective long?
Long enough, monsieur?
You've solved a lot of crimes, I guess.
More than you have had hot dinners?
Well, I've had a lot of hot dinners, Inspector.
Oh, yes? How many?
What?
Precisely how many hot dinners have you had, monsieur?
I don't know. Thousands?
You prove my point for me, monsieur. Precision and accuracy are everything.
You truly are a unique and amazing man, Inspector Nave.
Well, I'm glad you are impressed.
What seems to be the problem?
Monsieur Stobart, if Paris' finest cannot get this very expensive and very complex machine to work, then I doubt if an insurance salesman can...
I'm an insurance assessor, actually.
Oh, I see. Well, la-di-da to you, monsieur.
Oh, yeah? Well, la-di-da to you back.
Whatever. You are neither qualified nor clever enough to operate such an instrument.
Like us.
What was that, Moo?
I said, unlike us, sir.
I was sure I could get the machine to work if I could just get Nave out of the way. It was pointless trying to get a closer look at the machine while Nave and Moo were... The bust stared haughtily at me. I wondered who it was modeled on. That was where La Malediccio used to hang. That was where...
Monsieur Stobart, please remain within the main gallery.
Can I ask you something else?
If you must.
Changed your opinion of Moo yet?
Who?
Moo.
Who?
Never mind. Is Nave a good detective, do you think?
He's as good a detective as I am a dancer.
You light on your feet, Lane?
Do I look like I am?
What does it do?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Is there anything else you're not telling me, Mr. Lane?
Get lost.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, yes.
I didn't want to waste time talking. Inspector Nave. You must be the top dog around here.
Yes, I am the top dog.
How about top banana? You the top banana too?
Kindly cease your babble, and let me concentrate.
Just asking.
Monsieur Stobart, if you continue to hassle me, I will arrest you where you stand.
I decided to drop it for now. Maybe if I just have a quick look? Perhaps you just can't see the wood for the trees.
How ridiculous. Everybody knows trees are made out of wood.
I mean, you might just not be able to see what is obvious.
What is obvious, Monsieur Stobart, is that I am not stupid.
Nor are you made of wood, Inspector.
Exactly. Now, please leave this to the experts.
Excuse me.
Please, monsieur. I'm...
$55,000. Huh. Inspector Knapp. Can I just...
Go away.
It was Inspector Nave. I had to hurry up and get out of there, not waste time discussing. Inspector Nave. I know this sounds obvious, but are you sure it's plugged in?
Monsieur Stobart, do you really think I would be so stupid as to not check the fundamentals?
We all make mistakes.
What a ridiculous generalization, monsieur. Look, I can see from here it's... Ah.
Do you need assistance, sir?
Very funny, Mo. One moment.
That got rid of him. Now is my chance. I was going to have to figure that out quickly. Time to get the show on the road.
See, Moo? I knew I would get it working.
I'm not sure that you...
Precisely. You knew my superior intellect would win through in the end.
Yes, sir. Sir, I beg your pardon, but I think there is a teeny snag.
Go on.
We have no victim.
Good God, Moo. Are you suggesting I kill someone for the sake of this reenactment?
No, sir. Just saying we need a body, sir.
Ah, yes, I see. You'll make a detective yet, Moo. I, of course, foresaw this, and I nominate you.
Me? Well, I'm not dead.
Have you ever acted, Monsieur Stobart?
Well, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I went down a storm playing the lead in Cat on a Felt-Tip Roof last summer.
Hmm. You played the cat?
No.
So, not the lead. Half-truths again, monsieur. Nevertheless, here is your chance to play a real lead role.
But he looks nothing like the victim, sir.
Oh, damn it, Moo. Must you find problems all the time? Let me think of a way to make this work.
Relying on Nave's problem-solving skills could mean a long, long wait. I had to find something to make me more like Henri. I'll have a look around. Maybe I'll find something.
Yes, you do that. Verisimilitude is the key, Stobart. Ah, you have arrived at last. Please, make yourselves comfortable. We are just making some last-minute adjustments.
Father Simeon, Nico.
Hi, George.
Welcome to the asylum.
Let me guess. Nave is overjoyed we've solved the case and he's putting us up for an award.
Not quite. I told him about Shears and Medovsky. He says it's fantasy.
But that's crazy.
Tell me about it.
So what do we do now?
Carry on anyway, and nail Medovsky.
What about Nave?
Ignore him.
And this charade?
The reconstruction? Well, sooner it starts, sooner it's over.
George, what on earth is that machine?
It's Nave's baby. Supposedly, it's going to analyze the crime scene and tell us what happened.
But we already know what happened.
Sure we do. But Nave doesn't.
Quiet, please! How can I concentrate with all this racket going on?
Lane was right. Nave was an idiot. The best place to find Henri's things was in his office. It was a pretty flamboyant-looking clock. The poster was for... I opened the compartment. Using a paperclip to pick this lock would have been very impressive, if it had worked. On the head of the statue was a pair of Henri's glasses. Maybe, just maybe, the glasses would make me look like Henri.